I'm backing up my truck, I'm gonna hook it up, loading up my boat with all my gear. I've been working hard all week, trying to make ends meet, spending time wishing I was fishing. Whoa, Terry Wickstrom wants to take you fishing. Gather up your gear and come along. Whoa, Terry Wickstrom wants to take you fishing.
This is Terry Wickstrom. Join Karen Cullum, Greg Claudio, and me as we take you to some of our favorite fishing spots from Colorado to Minnesota, the Arctic Circle to Central America and beyond, as we revisit episodes of Mountain States Fishing and Angling Adventures Television on the best of fishing with Terry Wickstrom.
Hey, I'm out here today on Lake Powell. I'm with Jarrett Edwards. Jarrett, it's a pleasure to see you again.
Hey, my pleasure.
We actually have a pretty long bond that goes back a long way.
By all means.
Yeah, in fact, we first met when you were, well, you're pretty young now compared to me, but we first met when you were really young, before you got into the fishing business.
Yeah, about 14.
In fact, right now, how old are you?
21.
And you're the youngest, as far as we know, the youngest full-time professional fisherman making his living through bass and those type of things. And
exactly.
Promotions, right. But really, while we're out here today, I'm going to get to have a lot of fun fishing. We're actually out here. Jarrett's doing a video on fishing Lake Powell, and our crew is filming it for him, and we're going to produce it. So I came with so I could fish. So we're going to do, and while we're out here, we're going to show you a little bit on the TV, show you some spots, some techniques, a little peek, sneak peek at what Jarrett's video. So a lot of the show is going to be Jarrett going through the things that are going to be on his video, but just small snippets of it. And I might sneak on the show once in a while myself, but for the most part, it'll be him out here. We're going to show you Lake Powell. I'm going to step aside and go to the back of the boat and just do some fishing and have some fun. You'll get to see a little bit about Lake Powell. You're going to learn about Jarrett. Tell us a little bit of what you're going to tell us about, show on your video.
Yeah, most definitely. Well, being here at Lake Powell, currently the world's second largest man-made lake, 2,000 miles of shoreline. You know, it can be so confusing for anyone coming here, especially for the first time, or even the guy who spends a lot of time here on the lake. Some of the fish we're going to be dealing with, pretty much a lot of striper, small and largemouth bass. All I want to talk about is a couple different rigging techniques that we can use, some general locations, as well as some great techniques as well. So it's going to be a great how-to video. You know, the time's not going to be all that long, but it's mainly educated to a lot of the families and so forth, or even the seasoned tournament angler wanting to come down here and put a couple more fish in the boat.
Okay, we're going to give you a sneak preview of that video and show you a little bit of the fishing here. But then at the end of the show, we'll give you a phone number where you can get a hold of Jarrett and maybe order the video if you're interested. And I'm going to step aside and let you do some fishing. I might sneak back on the show once in a while during the day today, but for the most part, you're going to see Jarrett going through the routine, getting set up for the video, and hopefully you'll enjoy it. Good luck and
Thanks.
good fishing.
My pleasure. Using the right equipment can be pretty critical out here on the water. Pretty much all I have is a medium heavy 7-foot rod. I have a real fast retrieve 6-to-3-to-1 Lil Abu Garcia bait cast reel here. And basically anywhere from about 10 to 14 pound test. The line size really doesn't matter, so I try to come with a lot heavier line if possible. And being that this particular bait's a reaction strike, we don't have to worry too much about the fish coming up and generally seeing and shying away from the line, especially here in the clear waters, which are plenty abundant here at Lake Powell. So all we're doing is keeping this bait moving, real fast retrieve out here. Right now it's only about 6:30 in the morning, so still trying to take advantage of that mid-morning time. Given the opportunity to fish pretty fast like this, again, the fish doesn't get a good look at it, and most of the times the fish come up and strike the bait, they actually start to hook themselves, so you really don't have to worry about hook sets. Not really that critical. Whenever the fish comes up, a lot of times it's going to feel like he's going to rip that rod right out of your hand. All you have to do is keep the tension on him and keep on a reeling. All right, there he came around. I think I got him on that trailer hook there. Come right on up and hit that spinnerbait there. Nice, decent little 12, 13-inch fish. I'll bring him right over here. But wet my hands, don't take off that slime coat on him. There we go. Real important part about fishing for smallmouth bass when burning spinnerbait, such as we were doing this morning. Oh, this is a pretty small fish, only a little 12, 13-inch little tournament keeper. One thing's critical, guys, and that's this. It's pretty much what I want to talk about. Nice little healthy fish. Pretty much a lot of carbon copy fish here in the lake. Very aggressive little guys. Go ahead and put that back there in the water. He goes swim right off. All right, ladies and gentlemen, when fishing spinnerbaits, this is a real fun part. It's a little trick that a lot of guys started doing years ago back in tournament fishing. They put a lot of fish in the boat. What you guys see is pretty basic, okay? On the back of this, just have a little bluegill colored grub, something to mimic a lot of the forage, which I feel a lot of these fish are hanging around. A lot of times the bait fish, a lot of real small bluegill, seem to be the typical bait source for a lot of the large and smallmouth bass here in this current impoundment. So all I have on the back of this, guys, is the blades are going to put out the vibration and the noise to attract these fish. They come up, they see that little bluegill colored grub, okay? When they see that grub, guys, a lot of times that's a little teaser that's going to get those fish to attack. But what I've done, we started missing a couple fish out here. We'd see some nice 2 and 3 pound fish start chasing after the bait. They just wouldn't eat it right now. So all I did, they come up and bump at the bait and slap at it with their tails, which is very common with smallmouth bass. Ladies and gentlemen, I went ahead and just put on what we call a little trailer hook. This happens to be just a little 1/0 size hook. It's a hook that swings freely there. And I just put that on with a piece of surgical tubing. Trailer hooks, you can make your own, or just clip a little bit of rubber band, make sure that bait's not going to come off. But the biggest thing, guys, is this. When fishing for smallmouth, these fish like to jump, twist, and twirl around out there. What I really enjoy doing is this. Go ahead, guys, and instead of taking on this particular competitive edge spinnerbait, for example, we have a big 6/0, excuse me, a big 6/0 hook down there. So what I like to do, guys, is this. We already have one hook point riding in the upward position. That's great if the fish is going to come up and eat it. But guys, we have fish come up slapping at the bait with the tails, and we have fish coming up and just barely starting to bite at it from underneath, trying to get that grub. So all I did, guys, a little trick of the trade, helps you out in a lot of tournaments out there. A lot of professionals use this. Is I went ahead and took that little trailer hook that swings freely, and I put it on backwards, okay? Which is very bad if you're fishing in brush or any type of exposed structure, because definitely you'll snag up. But guys, as you can see, we're just fishing around these barren islands out here, and we're making these smallmouth get real mad and come right on up and grab the bait. So anytime you can put that trailer hook down, guys, you can always increase your chance of landing some trophy-sized smallmouth. Let's see if we can't get another one.
That's not bad. You know, smallmouth that size.
We get a lot of them this size.
I mean, it's nothing to go out and catch 30 or 40 a day like that, is it?
If you're in the right area, by all means, no.
Well, you can catch numbers of fish that size.
Right.
You can catch numbers of fish that size, and a smallmouth that size on light spinning tackle puts up a heck of a fight.
Most definitely.
They really do. They're fun fish to catch. Well, you know, the average weekend angler is going to come down here, and if he can get a bunch of fish like that, a few stripers, maybe a chance at a catfish, he's going to have a great weekend of fishing.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, people probably aren't going to make a trip to Lake Powell just to catch smallmouth that size.
Exactly.
However, there's big ones available.
Sure. 30 to 40 fish a day is not uncommon. Anywhere from 8 to about 10 inches, real small size. A lot of fish in the 12 to 15-inch range, though.
Well, you know.
Attaboy, getting to the bottom.
Yeah, well, you know, I'm not really out here seriously fishing. I'm just trying to have fun. But these stripers at Lake Powell are so aggressive, they won't leave me alone. Like I should complain, right? I don't think this is a very big one, but it's fun. On this light, we're fishing with light spinning tackle. Now, if you're really going after hog stripers, you want to go to a little heavier tackle, but we're just out here floating around with some, well, the crew is filming, Jarrett. I got a piece of anchovy on a jig head, floating around a couple feet off the bottom and just having a good time. I mean, and by the way, if you do come out to Lake Powell, these are good to eat. There's no limit on them. They encourage you to keep them. Now, we're going to be out for a while and the fish will probably die, so we're going to let them go. But if you want to catch fish and have a great time, but, you know, let's get back to Jarrett in the video.
Yeah, that's the fun about Lake Powell. There's so many different type of fish species out there, whether it's your walleye, your catfish, your carp, all the way down to some rare trout here, your smallmouth, your largemouth. You know, it's a great time. Even some of these stripers, averaging anywhere from 2 to 10 pounds. Matter of fact, oh, he just bit me and just released it. There he is. All right, that's pretty nice. Now that we're talking, guys, is the diversity of Lake Powell. Being that there's so many different type of fish species out here, even though it's 5-6 pounds, guys, a lot of times that's bigger than your average size fish at the house. It's always a good time out there. Man, these stripers sure do fight hard. They're one of the easiest fishes to catch. You guys would simply be amazed. Everything you see here, guys, all we're doing, we're just finding them on the graph. Whether you're out here in a houseboat, okay, which is a great way to enjoy Lake Powell. I mean, pretty much the houseboat capital of the world out here. I tell you, make some great family vacations, but man, these fish, they're so much fun. They fight, and they're so easy to catch, guys. Little piece of anchovy at this time of the year, and they're all over the lake. That's what makes these guys so accessible. All right, let's go ahead and bring this guy in here. There's a lot of different types of fish in here, as we were talking about earlier. Your smallmouth, your largemouth bass, going all the way to your walleye and your stripers. I sure do enjoy it, guys. There's so much diversity here, and that's the fun of this lake. You're not coming here strictly for stripers. Like we mentioned a little bit earlier in the video, guys, you could be throwing a little anchovy down here, and before you know it, boom, you have a 10-pound catfish, or boom, you have a walleye. And a little bit larger striper there. All right. Let's go ahead and bring this guy right on up. Nice striper there, they're 2 to 3 pound little fish. Makes for a lot of great fun out there. Man, what a fun time. Makes for some great family memories out there. Guys, whatever you do, keep one thing in mind. Your tackle is gonna be very important. And what I mean by that, guys, always use strong enough line. We're using real light line today, guys. We're using 6-pound line due to our ultra clear waters, okay? But also, it's all about matching and balancing your equipment. All we have is a 7-foot real light tip St. Croix rod going all the way down, 6-pound line, conventional spinning reel, guys. It's very balanced equipment, makes for a great time and land some fish. Let's go get another one. All right. That's another striper here. This one seems to be a little bit bigger than that last one. Again, using some pretty light tackle out here. Always keeping a loose drag, letting these fish make a good run. Here he comes. He's coming on up to the surface. Here in a moment, I'm gonna mark some spots on the map for you. We're currently fishing up Navajo Canyon. Very beautiful, scenic little canyon up here. Another little strong, real strong little fish here. All right, let's go ahead and pull this little guy in the boat. Pull that guy off there. Another real small striper out here. Pretty little fish. Currently fishing up Navajo Canyon, as I just mentioned before. We're gonna go ahead and mark a couple areas up on the map for you. There's literally stripers all over this body of water. Once the striper schools are located, 2 to 3 fish at a time, especially for a family with all the right type of bait and equipment in the water at the right time, 2 to 3 fish at a time is not uncommon. 50 to 60 fish days are highly common from anywhere from about May all the way to about October. A fun fish, and as we'll show you in the next couple catches, they get a little bit larger as well.
Hey Jarrett, I want to interrupt you filming for a second.
Sure.
I know he's working on a video for you guys, but you know, people may watch the video and want to come out fishing by themselves.
Most definitely.
Or they may want to come to Lake Powell, and it's kind of big and it can be intimidating.
Oh man, you're
So
telling me.
great ways to hire a guide, and I just happen to know that you guide on this lake. Tell us a little bit about your guide service, what you offer, and how they get a hold of you.
Sure, well I'm proud to be one of the very first-class guide services out here on the lake. We offer everything from everyone fishing brand new 22-foot boats, big old 225 Mercury engines on the back there. Excellent accommodations. Everyone's fishing $300 to $500 St. Croix rods. First-class service. I'm proud to also be Lake Powell's only no fish, no pay guide service for whatever species of fish they want to go after. Whether that's walleye, whether it's large and smallmouth bass, striper, you name it.
Well, how do they get a hold of you?
Yeah, anytime. We have a webpage under www.lakepowellpro.com.
You know, this is kind of neat, to tell you the truth. I'm really, well, I guess you're looking at me now, but I'm not doing a TV show today. All I'm doing is out here fishing. I'm not running a boat. I'm not running a camera. I don't have to worry about things. I can kick back and enjoy Lake Powell, which really is a great fishery. And I tell you what, if it's Lake Powell is anywhere from an 8 to 10 hour drive out of Denver, Colorado. If you're interested in coming out here, and there's places you can access the lake in Height, Bullfrog, and down at Page, Arizona. And you look on a map, there's only a few places you can access the lake by road, and the rest is by boat, and that's one of the things that makes it so special. You get down here by boat, and there aren't people driving up all over, and you look around at these beautiful canyons. So, I mean, really, it's a trip well worth your while. You should come down here and enjoy it. And, you know, to make it more fun, pick up Jarrett's video and learn a little bit about how to fish it and where to fish it.
That fish will work. He's out there a little deeper, huh? Okay. Well, that's a nice smallmouth.
Yeah, I think we'll...
I could use him.
Yeah, he's got that Shaw Grisby HP hook in him.
That can't be a fish. That is a fish. I got a toad. All right. This is more like Lake Powell striper fishing. I don't know what in the world I have, guys. So if you'll please just bear with me. Feels like I have a big log. Something down there is big. And it is moving. I thought I was snagged at first after my rod was nearly yanked out of my hand. It's probably one of those pretty decent notorious stripers here at Lake Powell. Let's see what we can do. Try to pick one of these big guys up. Let's see what we have. It's not coming up. It's not really fighting like a striper. It's not rolling like a big catfish. I'm not sure, and that's the fun about fishing these anchovies, especially out the bottom. So many different types of fish species. Absolutely love these. All right. I really think it's a big striper though. I mean, this thing is just not coming up at all. Man, never had a fish pull this hard. I don't want to put too much pressure again, even though we have some pretty balanced tackle. Let's try to get this fish all the way up. Whatever in the world it is, he's not wanting to come up. All right, let's see him. And it is a carp, a big 10, 12-pound carp. Here we go. You guys talk about diversity. Today, guys, we have caught smallmouth bass, okay? We have went ahead and we have caught catfish. And on top of the catfish, we have caught stripers. And now, guys, we're about to catch a real big, ugly, but fun to catch carp. If this doesn't show you how fun anchovy fishing could be, I don't know what will. Let's take a look at that big guy right there. That is a monster fish. My wrist is completely worn out. That is a big, big, big fish. Let's see the size of that little guy there. All right. All right. Let's go ahead and lift that guy on up there. Nice 10-pound fish. It's the diversity of fish and anchovies directly out the bottom, guys. What a lot of fun. Today, guys, especially right here in the striper hole up Navajo Canyon, we've caught everything from the stripers we're going after. We have caught some beautiful, beautiful catfish, large stripers. We've caught some smallmouth today. Man, Lake Powell fishing at its finest. Sure, it's not your biggest game fish, guys, but what a lot of fun. We're gonna go ahead and release this fish, see if we can't get a little bigger one. Never know what's gonna bite next. That's the fun part of this lake.
Hey, Jarrett, it's really been fun watching you put this video together.
Hey, it's been a pleasure. Look forward to doing it again.
Yeah, you know, well, we've given you some glimpses today of Lake Powell and the video that Jarrett's working on. So if you get a chance, come down here and fish Lake Powell. I mean, it's an 8 to 10 hour drive out of the Front Range of Colorado, and it's just an incredible experience. The scenery, the diversity of fishing that you've shown us. I mean, bass, carp, catfish, lots of great striper action. I mean, and there's bluegills and crappies. It's just an incredible,
smallmouth.
It's an incredible
All
fishery.
over, sure.
I also want to thank you. You arranged the accommodations at the Days Inn for us, Days Inn Suites. And you got a fish?
Ah, what a terrible way to end. Sorry, guys.
Well, go ahead and land the fish, and I'll tell him. Hey, while he's landing this fish.
Oh, she pulled off.
You got it all right. We're going to give you the number of the Days Inn here. I'll tell you what, it's a fairly new place. They treated us just great. It's big suites with a couch, 2 television sets, great rooms at a reasonable price. And you're, what, 5 minutes from the lake?
If even, I tell you, brand new facilities as well.
Yeah, right in Page. You get free breakfast with the room. So if you're coming down to Page to stay, give them a call. Here's the phone number. They provided the accommodations for us this week, and it's been just a wonderful place to stay. I want to thank you again, Jarrett.
Hey, my pleasure. I had a great time with you, Terry.
It's going to be fun. So make sure you get down to Lake Powell. Look for Jarrett's video. Join us next week on Mountain States Fishing.